Hi friends, my name is Hazal.
My name is Liddy.
And we are two UK doctors, and on this channel we share all things self-development, productivity and adulthood.
There can be a lot of pressure in your 20s from friendships, education, money, adulthood.
I know, it's literally all about planning for your future whilst making the most out of the present, which can be so overwhelming.
Literally. Along the way, we've definitely learned lots of lessons that I think we wish we knew sooner. So if you want to make the whole process of navigating all the transitions and changes life throws at you a bit more manageable, grab a paper and a pen and let's get into it. The first one we're going to get into is friendships. As people who we've not just gone through different things together, whether that be education, starting our big girl doctor jobs, getting onto the property ladder and other amazing achievements like that, we've been people who have been able to do it together and see different versions of one another. So let's get into friendship, and what do you wish you knew sooner in regards to the world of friendship?
One of the main lessons I wish I knew earlier, and this might be a little bit controversial, is that not all friendships are meant to last. Not all friendships are meant to make it out of each of your different life stages, and that is okay. I think that was something that was very difficult for me to accept, because once I love someone, once I build that friendship with someone, I want you there for the rest of my life. So I think it was very difficult to understand that that's just not the case with some friendships, and that's okay. You can just let go, whether that's because you're on different pages now or you don't see eye to eye anymore. You know, we grow as humans.
You want different things.
Exactly. You grow as humans, you might want different things, and you might not be compatible as friends anymore, and that's okay.
Yeah, 100%. You said something along the lines of it was difficult for you initially. I would say that for most people, this is a difficult thing to come to terms with, because no one makes an investment into a person or a thing for it to not last. Like, who does that? So obviously when you're investing into this person, you're telling them your deepest, darkest secrets, and you're inviting them into elements of your life just for it to one day no longer be there. It can be something very daunting to come to the realization of. But one thing you come to learn over time is that it's actually a good thing that some friendships have their seasons, that some are short term, that some are perhaps specific to a certain geographical location, that some are specific to a certain stage in your life. There are friends who are meant to be there for you in the long run, and there are others that are there to serve a purpose for a short period of time, and you're not the one you're not always going to be the person to dictate it. Sometimes it will just be the times and the seasons that will dictate it. But I think the main thing we want to get across is just prepare your mind that that is a situation that's bound to occur sometimes, and it's nothing that you need to blame yourself about or become bitter about. It's just a natural process of life with some friendships.
Make the effort. I feel like this goes hand in hand with the previous point, and it's just about making sure you don't get complacent in friendships. I know we've even experienced that in the past.
Right.
Don't get complacent just because someone's your best friend, or just because even you see them every day. Still make that effort, still plan friendship dates, still do nice things for each other, even if you've been friends for 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, there are going to be times where you do get a bit complacent. I think it happens in any relationship, in any friendship. Sometimes life gets in the way and you can't always bring 100% of yourself. Sometimes you can only bring 90% or 80% to the table. And I think the most important thing in this scenario is communication. I think we've recently had that season, right, where, you know, just started working as doctors, especially like I've had really intense shifts and a difficult rotation that I've just finished in respiratory.
We don't talk about that one.
And, you know, I had to be like, I can no longer bring 100% of myself to this friendship. I don't even think I can bring 100% of myself to life right now. There's just a lot going on. And I think at this point, my capacity is 70%. 70% is my new 100%. I may not always be able to give you the most energy on FaceTime calls. I may not always be able to respond to you every day because I'm struggling to cope with work. But that's where I'm at. And I hope you'll meet me there. And I think just that level of communication, if you have a friend that's empathetic, that loves you, that is mature enough to comprehend that this is just a season, that level of communication just buffers a lot of misconceptions, a lot of misunderstandings and unspoken assumptions that can actually ruin friendships and cause drifting that didn't have to be there in the first place. So I think it's important to also talk about the fact that complacency within itself, we shouldn't demonize it. It happens, but what are you going to do in that season of life that you're complacent? Is there a reason behind it? If there's no reason, do you just need to pattern and make a bit more of an effort? And also you, the other friend on the other side of things, are you giving grace to your friend being complacent? Are you being understandable of their external situation, or the fact that they may not have that knowledge or that wisdom just yet, and you may just need to teach them and give them time to get a bit better. So I think I think there's grace. I think there's scenario-specific situations. And I think the main thing under all of this is communication. Where are you both at? Are your expectations realistic of one another for that specific season? And how can you bring it together to come to a conclusion that just makes sense?
And I think for those of you that are maybe going into university and you're going from seeing your friends every single day at school or at sixth form or at college to maybe you might be living in different cities now and you might see each other once a month. I think that's a very big transition that many people don't touch on. And again, that's where effort comes in. Put in your diary.
Are you all right, Hazal?
I'm getting emotional.
Speaking from personal experience.
Put in your diary to call that person once a week.
Right.
Or check up on them, send them a message. How's university going? How are you settling in? These small things can really mean a lot to the person on the other side. And that's when a friendship goes from a friendship of convenience because you saw each other every day to a true friendship where even in different seasons or different locations or different lifestyles, you can still be there for each other.
The friendship withstands it all.
Yeah.
Let's get into networking for a few seconds. I think this big word can be quite daunting to some people, and it definitely used to be daunting to me. But when you break it down and you simplify it into something that represents how simple it actually is sometimes, I think it allows you to embrace the process. And you must embrace the process because whether you like it or not, your network is your net worth. And I'm so sorry to be that podcast girly that has to like regurgitate things you've already heard and you roll your eyes at, but it's true. And I think we've definitely seen the fruits of that. And I'm not just talking about your net worth financially. I'm talking in all aspects of life, like creativity, wisdom, idea generation, inspiration, guidance. Like I feel wealthy with my joy, with my peace, with my life decisions, with my friendships, in so many aspects of life beyond finances, because I was very deliberate with the people I networked with, and these networks in some scenarios naturally turned into friendships. And because I was so intentional with the people I'm putting around myself, that's reflective of the place I want to go and the direction I'm heading. It means that these people are pouring into my life and continuing to nurture me and make me the best version of myself. Your network is your net worth, so you need to just take the process a bit more seriously. And when I say that, I mean stop running away from it. You network all the time without even realizing it. Dead ass. Like whether it's at a university society or you attend an event to learn more, a property seminar or something, or wherever your interests lie, when you bump to someone and you say hi and you get to know each other, that is networking. Networking is not just you're in a suit with a briefcase and you're going to go secure a business deal. No, it's getting to know people and building a professional relationship. But sometimes these professional relationships become friendships, and I think that's when you really hit the jackpot of networking.
Yeah, I think whenever I think about the people we have around us, it actually puts a smile on my face. Like, I think we've been very intentional and deliberate about connecting with the right people in such a natural and organic way that now if I have an issue about pretty much anything, there's always at least one or two people I can go to. And that's such a, I'm such a privileged position to be in. And I'm so honored to be able to call all these people my friends. And I just think it's because even though I was scared of networking, I still went out and did it anyway. Whether that be sending that first message, asking to go for a coffee date, or even just saying, look, I really would appreciate your help with this. People are much kinder and nicer than I think a lot of us think. As Londoners, we think everyone is, going to say no to us or just going to look at us differently. But the worst that can happen is they say no. And I think once you get into that mentality, you really give yourself more grace and just go for more opportunities that you really want to, but your mind might be stopping you.
Definitely.
And that takes us nicely onto our next point, which is about putting yourself in the right rooms. I never really used to understand what this meant. Like, what do you mean put myself in the right rooms?
Like I'm in the room right now.
do I just walk into an office? No, guys, that's not what we mean. But it's just about, think about where the people you want to be are and try to put yourself in those rooms. So not into their offices, not into their workspaces, but in an event, for example, a property seminar or events about how to improve your creativity, for example. There's so many different things and so many different events you can attend that you can even find for free online, where you can meet that one person who can take you to the next step in your career or in your goals or aspirations.
And I think just to add on to that. So for example, if you want to be a property investor, are you attending property seminars? Are you attending courses that can teach you about the different options available to get into property? If you want to be a content creator, are you attending creative spaces? Are you going to creative networking opportunities? We live in an age where on Instagram there's always an event happening left, right and center for any and every interest. Are you signing up to these things and making time for them where you can? Where do you want to go, and what does the stepwise approach look like to getting there? And you know, in that stepwise approach to getting to where you need to be, it will include you increasing your knowledge. And to increase knowledge, you have to attend things and, you know, go to events and learn things. And that's where you would naturally meet people that you are on the same journey as. You don't need to network with someone who is a content creator because you want to be a content creator. You can network with, you know, editors. Yeah. You can network with thumbnail artists. You're all in the creative industry and you can all feed within each other. When I wanted to get into property and I went to a property seminar, I didn't ignore people who didn't have a property yet. Like people who were on the same journey as me and had that grit and that drive. I was like, yeah, I can learn from you. Like we're you know, we're like-minded. We naturally built a rapport. We naturally built a professional rapport. We sent each other ideas. We kept building on that until you know, we achieved our goals. That's how you should see networking. It doesn't just have to be the person who's at the place where you want to be. That's good within itself as well. They can be a mentor, a source of guidance one day, but even people on the same journey, you should definitely consider networking with them as well, because then you do it all together.
Yeah. And I think it's important to remember that you're not putting yourself in these rooms for like a transactional experience. You're not just going there to get something from someone and then move on. You're going there to build meaningful connections that can help you in the long run, not just in the short term.
Yeah. And don't just think about what you can gain from other people and now you need to be helped and you need to be poured into. What can you bring to the table? Like, how can you offer yourself up to also, like I said, not be transactional, but to also show that I am genuine about wanting to build this rapport. I don't just want to feed from you, but I want to also provide my value to you as well, so that you can also benefit from having me as a connection. I remember one of the YouTubers I watched, Lambide, she was saying how she went to a property event and this property developer that she really aspired to be like, she went up to the person and was like, hey, could I come and shadow you, or could I come and attend your events and help you with XYZ, help you set up whatever it may be. Like, as a student who doesn't have much skills, you may not see the value you bring, but even offering to shadow and help out at someone's office, offering your time is a big thing. Time is a big thing that you have as a student or in your early 20s if you're not working yet, that you can offer or can be a means of giving value, so that when it's time for you to receive value or to get advice or guidance, whatever you may need, it doesn't feel as transactional or one-sided.
The next topic is money. I feel like this is such a big thing.
Such a big thing, yeah.
People in their 20s and in just entering adulthood in general. And the first point we want to make is try to find innovative ways of making money outside of the normal job you might be working. So for example, this might be creating videos online. This might be, you know, selling a product or digital product. This might be creating an online course. And if you're not happy with being in front of the camera, there's obviously lots more options as well. You can learn how to edit thumbnails. You can learn how to edit videos. And this isn't to say this has to be your full-time job, but it's just an additional thing that you can do to kind of up your pay, essentially.
And just to add to that as well, I think you need the correct motivation when it comes to money as well. There's so many voices out there saying a lot, and it can put very unfortunate pressures on young people. But I think if you have a goal or somewhere you want to be in life, whether that's like financial stability, or whether that's you want a property, or you want a car, or you want to be in a position where you have a lifestyle that's reflective of, you know, your hobbies like traveling, I think have a why that is unique to you and not influenced by negative external voices. And once you have that why, you feel less pressured and you have less of a negative relationship with money. And when your relationship is more positive, then you start to have mental space to think innovatively and think about, okay, so how can I get to that end goal? What can I do to increase my income? You know, when in my property video where I spoke about how I bought my first house at 23, one of the best advices I heard at university was, if you have a financial goal in mind, you either need to make more money or spend less. And at university, I didn't want to spend less. Like, I wanted appropriately to travel from time to time. You know, we loved restaurants, like treating ourselves to a restaurant here and there. So I was like, okay, cool, so I'm gonna need to make more money. And I think that this is where thinking outside the box needs to come into play. Stop doubting your skill set and what you are able to do, and also stop doubting, you know, your ability to upskill. Like you said, if you can edit, go to Upwork, sign up to Upwork. Like, can you edit for someone? Can you try and make some money from that? A lot of students, you have intellectual knowledge. I know a lot of people who do tutoring, you know, you're getting at £25 per hour. That's more than we're getting as junior doctors. I know that tutoring at summer school, for example, you know, during one of my summers was very pivotal in allowing me to save a good amount of money that I could then use to put towards my future plans for property. There are so many innovative ways to make money this day and age, both online and offline as well. And lots of YouTube videos online telling you about all the many different ways. Literally, there's so much out there on like 20 side hustles you can start this year, 50. And a lot of them, you know, there's overlap, but some of them are truly unique and unlock something new that you never thought of. I watched one video where the guy said, where the person speaking about side hustles was like, oh, I got this extra income by emailing a YouTuber and asking them if I can work for them. And I was like, damn, I never thought of that. But you'd never think of it if you're not seeking that additional knowledge. So if you don't know where to start with thinking outside the box to make extra income, seek out the knowledge, ask people, go online, read articles, watch YouTube videos, and you'll be surprised how an idea is just sparked in your mind for you to then get on it and work towards this financial goal that you have in mind for your future.
And I think the reason why we're so passionate about this is because that's like
that's what we started.
That's where we started.
I promise you guys, there was no trust fund.
We come from a background where we didn't have much growing up.
First generation immigrant,
first generation university students, and we were both very, very passionate about just doing everything we possibly can.
We wanted a different reality and future for ourselves than what
we were very ambitious. That's the word I was looking for, ambitious, and probably a bit too ambitious, I would say. And we knew very quickly that we just had to do more, just because we were going to be at university. You know, thank God we were able to get into medical school, but we were going to be at university until 23. And that means theoretically we're not making any money from our job until the age of 23. And we didn't want that to be our reality. So we literally tutored to save for our first camera, and then we got editing advice from Nidhi's cousin. And our first videos, guys, don't watch them.
Don't scroll, not too
Don't
much.
watch them. Don't watch them. And then like we started just making content on our phones, and we sought out so much information just that was freely available online. And that's how we've come to a position where, you know, our finances aren't just dependent on our doctor jobs, which if it was, maybe we wouldn't have been able to travel as much or do these things X, Y, Z. And that's why we're so passionate about this, because I want this for all of you, and everyone who has that ambition and that passion, they can get to the same position and even higher. We're not even saying, I know it might sound like we're speaking from like we're millionaires, we're not, but if that passion and that ambition continues, who says where we'll be in 10 years or 5 years?
In regards to education, and no, I'm not talking about a uni degree, masters and whatnot, been there, done that, guys.
Not the masters.
Do you think you do one?
Yeah, I'm not going, guys. I'm not going back to
Don't speak too soon.
Although I have been missing uni, but this is not even to do with what we're talking about.
But yeah, I think one thing that's very underrated once you leave university and you're like, yay, finally, no more homework, no more coursework, is the importance of continuing to learn. Don't stop learning. I love learning. I love learning. Like, I love increasing my knowledge. I love learning about things I didn't know before. When you learn and you expand your knowledge, guys, you're not just like pouring into yourself as a person and allowing yourself to become this more diverse, well-rounded character that just has knowledge about different facets and pockets of life. But you also open doors of opportunities for yourself. I know that at uni, or when it comes to the typical education system, you're kind of told that you have this one career trajectory that you need to follow. But I love the fact that our generation and those around us are breaking that stereotype. You don't just need to follow one trajectory for your life. You don't just need to, do uni, be done with it and move on. No, continue learning. Like, if there's something you're passionate about, something you want to know, go learn about it. I'm a medic, but like I've always loved business. And I remember in third year, like we did a business course, for example. I'm a creative, even though I'm now, you know, a full-time doctor. I'm going to make time to keep increasing my editing skills, to keep expanding my creativity because I enjoy it. And by doing that, it's actually opened more doors for opportunities. We've recently, for example, been able to work with a major brand abroad that, you know, needed medics who were also creatives. Like, who would have thought that random mix and match of, oh, I don't really know where I fit into would benefit us one day. And I think that's what I want to get across here. Your uniqueness is a superpower. You might be thinking, OMG, like I don't fit into anywhere. Am I health? Am I creative? Like, you're whatever you want to be, because at the end of the day, there is a space for you somewhere, and there is a position, an opportunity, or a door that's going to open just because you chose to be who you are. So walk into who you are and be absolutely unapologetically ambitious about it, and that will be the best decision you ever make. I don't even know what to classify myself as. Like, am I a doctor who's a creative, or am I a creative that happens to be a doctor? I don't know, and quite frankly, I don't care. Like, I'm having too much fun being whatever the heck I want to be. If you want to refer to me as a property investor, as a speaker, as a LinkedIn warrior, content creator, doctor, whatever your preference is, I'm all of those things and above. And I can't wait to just continue to see where my passion for learning will take me, because everything that I have, or every title that is attached to my name, or accolade, every hat I wear came from my desire to learn and to keep pursuing learning. So please, even if you're in a full-time job, even if you're a university student and what you're studying has nothing to do with your interests, or a hobby you want to explore, it doesn't matter. If you're interested in business, do the course. If you're interested in editing, learn how to edit. If you're interested in marketing, subscribe to a newsletter on marketing. Just keep learning, keep going, keep learning. It's a privilege and it's a skill.
Wow.
Can you stop? And I was like,
so I'm just taking it in.
I just love learning.
And I think the reason why, I just feel like the education system, although it's great, it forces us to focus on one path. It forces you to pick 2 or 3 subjects and just go down that path, and it can cause you to just inevitably forget about everything else you used to enjoy. Like, I used to enjoy history, but when's the last time I learned anything?
Historian, yeah.
And I think that doesn't have to be the case. Obviously, you've got exams to sit and textbooks to read and whatnot, but learning in your adult life doesn't have to look like what learning looked like in your childhood or whilst you was at university. You can learn, like, we're in a time and place where you can learn on every social media platform available to man. Go on YouTube, you can find a video about every single little thing. And I think that's amazing, because whether that's languages, business, marketing, cooking, driving, whatever you want to learn, you can learn it for free on YouTube, on social media. And I think that's amazing. And I think we sometimes forget what we have just in our hands. Like, in here, everything I need to know about life. So just, if you are passionate about something but you don't know where to start, search it up on Google, search it up on Instagram or YouTube, and see what comes up. And then from there, just continue to pursue that one thing, whatever it is, and try to find ways. You know, money might not always be a thing that you can afford to spend on learning. So try to look for free ways, free webinars, affordable ways to improve your skills in that one aspect. And you never know where it's going to take you.
Because, can I add, we're actually self-taught individuals. No one taught us how to edit. No one taught me how to buy a house. No one taught us financial education, how we should budget. Like, we taught ourselves. And that all comes from learning, guys. So genuinely, if you want to, you would.
And also, last thing, we taught each other as well.
Stop it, yeah.
Friends who are like-minded. And even if you're at level 1 together, you can get to level 10 together. If you have the same passion for yourself as you do for the other person. Like, I want Liddy to succeed as much as I want myself to succeed. Liddy's wins are my wins. Her losses are my losses. Like, I will do everything I can to ensure that everything I know, everything I'm kind of figuring out, Liddy knows as well, so that we can level up together. And I think it's so important. This kind of touches on friendship, but seek out friends who are like-minded so that you can level up together if you have that same goal and same passion.
And same heart.
And same heart. Our next section is all about confidence. And can I just say, guys, nobody actually cares. Nobody actually cares deep down about what you're doing. And I think this was quite difficult for me to understand as well. As a natural people pleaser and someone who used to worry a lot about what other people think, when I realized that people just don't care enough, it made me much happier and much more confident in myself. And I just stepped with more just confidence and vim, you know. And I think it's so important because I wish I could go back and tell my younger self that people just don't care. And I think we're in a day and age where news spreads like wildfire, but then in the next second it's gone. No one's going to care if you start that YouTube channel, you start posting videos online, or you start exploring a new creative venture, or whatever you might be exploring that's outside of the norm. People might be like, oh, that's kind of different. Even when we started YouTube, we had people mocking us. I still remember your names, but I'm not going to mention them.
Where they at now?
But like, you stop caring. Like, the person in front of you stops caring when they see that you don't care about their response.
That's it. Yeah.
Like, if you don't give them the reaction they're looking for, they're going to move on. As humans, we have such short attention spans that if this person isn't giving you the reaction you're looking for, you'll naturally move on to the next person. So, hey, let that person do what they want to do. Focus on yourself and just don't give them what they want.
I once said to someone who asked me for advice, because at the hospital they're at, they have medics kind of taking the piss because they're trying to create content online and they've just started. And they're like, how do you do it? Like, you know, I'm sure people mock you. And I'm like, you can't make me feel embarrassed about something I'm proud of.
Wow.
Genuinely. Like, you can't. And I'm not just saying this because now we have like thousands of subscribers and all these crazy opportunities, but this actually goes into my next point perfectly. I believe in myself so much. I believe in us so much. We believe in our source, so that even if the results that will give me, you know, clout or give me your validation haven't yet come to fruition, I've already validated myself. Do you get what I mean? You need to be so convinced that, you know, all that you are striving for, though it may not look like how you want it to look like, one day it will take you somewhere that you will be so proud of all the hard work and the grit you put in. We are very privileged to be in the UK, so country of opportunity. My cousins back home don't have the same opportunity.
Yes,
and one thing my mum tells me is, if you know English, the world is your oyster. You know, if you know the language and you know how to communicate in order to get to those spaces you need to get to elevate yourself in this country, there is so much you can do. Like, I love seeing success stories on LinkedIn. There's this bus driver and he was like, when I came to this country, I didn't know English. I didn't even have my GCSEs. And now, after like years of being a bus driver, he's retired and he's working with the TfL on projects on how to make, I think it was like buses more sustainable or something like that. I'm like, wow, like, look at the life you've built for yourself. And this is not just luck. This is believing in yourself and internal motivation. It's grit. It's never giving up. It's resilience. It's getting back up every single time those negative voices try to bring you down. You need to be your biggest cheerleader, because if you won't be, who are you waiting to be that person for you? You can't be spoon-fed for the rest of your life. It comes a time where you need to make the decision to get up and grab all that life has for you.
And I think people can smell insecurity from a mile away and they will jump on it.
If they're bad people.
We
wouldn't do that.
No, we wouldn't do that. We'll give you a hug. So just try to be as confident as you can in the decisions you're making. Like, when we told people, you know, we want to buy a property by the age of 23, 24, people laughed at us because we're like, yeah, right. But now, you know, now when we're posting the pictures on Instagram, it's congrats. Like, or when we said, you know, we want to make content, how are you going to manage that alongside medical school?
Right, that was a big one.
But we manage. How are you going to manage it? Oh, you're definitely not going to manage as a doctor.
Yeah. We're managing.
We're managing. And I think it's because we have that belief and confidence in ourselves. There's so many times we could have just been like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Throw that in the bin. Then we focus on, you know, something else. Yeah. But we didn't. Go on.
You touched on something so good there as well. The external noise. If your belief in yourself needs to be so loud that you don't hear those voices.
I think you have like noise cancelling headphones on.
Exactly.
Yeah. Completely different sentences. But yeah, guys, believe in your source and there's not enough that someone else can say to make that belief go away, because you just trust and believe in yourself so much. Like there's still so much we want to achieve in the next 5-10 years that people will probably say is a little bit of a crazy idea, but hey, we'll see it in 5 to 10 years.
This, I swear
Start crying.
No, I swear, like, God needs to bless this man wherever he is. I was at an event about learning how to network, and then I heard one of the speakers said this sentence, and it stuck with me forever. And I hope in this video we've said something, and there's just been a phrase you can take that sticks to you forever. But what he said was, keep pulling the thread and see where you end up. And this was when I was like 19, and I was incredibly uncertain about where YouTube was going, what I'd be after medical school, what type of doctor I wanted to be, just life in general. Friendships were just being a bit weird. Like, I was just like, what's going on? And then when he said that, I was like, yeah, that's how I'm going to solve this issue I have with uncertainty. That's how I'm going to overcome my fear of the future. I'm just going to keep pulling the thread and see where I end up. And even as a child of God, I think differently now. Separate from that. Like, if you think about a thread, the ones that the cats play with, if you pull it and you pull it and you pull it, eventually you'll get to the end of it, or you know, find out where it's been stuck all this time. I feel like discovering life, purpose, and your future is essentially the same thing, and I think we've done that so well. You know, we just kept pulling the thread of our interests. What am I interested in? What do I want to be in the future? Or, oh, I like this person, do I want something like that in the future? Okay, I like this, how can I find out more? How can I do more? How can do I need to go to events? Do I need to listen to this podcast? Do I need to buy this book to gather more information, to get into that space, to get into, I want to be a doctor. Okay, that means going to med school, that means passing my exams. Just keep pulling the thread of your interests, and even if you don't know what you want to be, putting the thread of your interest will get you there. And if you know what you want to be, keep putting the thread of the staircase that you need to get there. When I was like, okay, I want to be this person in the future and I don't know how to get there, my number one, the thing I always did was I ran to LinkedIn. I was like, okay, I want to be a portfolio doctor, a doctor that does lots of things, wears multiple hats. And I think this was like in 4th year of medical school or 5th year. I went to this woman's LinkedIn and I went to the bottom and I was like, I want to see your journey. What has your journey looked like? And I went to 3 or 5 pages and I came to the conclusion their journeys looked unique to themselves. They wore hats that were specific to them. Whether their hat was to do with charity stuff, that's kind of the realm that they were diversified in. Or I've seen another one who she's a DJ, she's a yoga instructor, and she's a doctor. It's specific to her interests.
Cool,
And then also I was like, okay, so surely mine, it doesn't matter what I've done or what my experience is. All that matters is I have enough seasoned experiences that will tell me what I like and what I don't like. The common denominator I saw from all those pages was that they had diverse experiences. They did different things. You know, I've done tutoring. I've done tutoring, digital marketing, waitressing. Like, if you go to my LinkedIn, you'll see the different places I've walked to make me realize I like this, I don't like that. I think I want more of this. I think I want less of that. Diverse experiences was the thread I needed to pull. What is the thread you need to pull? That's the question you ask yourself, and that's what you need to figure out. And I think that whole, pursuing interests and stalking other people's LinkedIns is a great way to start. How did other people do it? The people who are where you want to be, what was their journey like? What's the common denominator between their journeys? And what can you do to replicate not the ingredients, but the formula?
And I feel like the reason why that's so important is because once you can see where you want to be and you've seen someone else do it, just in yourself, you just feel a lot more confident because someone else has done it. You can see that person's path, and even if your one looks a little bit different, there's a few different stops on the way, you know that you can get to that place because someone else has. And that's why just doing that research and finding other people that you can relate with is so, so important. And I feel like another saying that we both really like is ride the wave. If you are on a path, you don't really know where you're going, but you're enjoying what you're doing somewhere, you're enjoying what you're doing at the moment, and you can see it getting somewhere good in the future, just ride that wave. Keep working hard, keep being determined, keep pulling the thread like Liddy said, and you will eventually get somewhere that's hopefully going to be where you want to be. Something that I always said in medical school to motivate me during my exams is, there's no way that I'm working this hard and I'm this ambitious and passionate about this that it's just not going to work out.
It can't possibly.
Like, a positive and a positive put together makes a positive.
That's it.
Like,
physics.
The maths.
Oh. Nah, I swear it's the same. No, continue.
Have so much belief in the hard work you're doing that you just know there's no way it's not going to work out. I was like, with my exams, there's no way I'm putting all these hours in during my library sessions, and I know the work I'm doing is fruitful. I know the work I'm doing is what I need to do to get to the place I need to get to. There's no way it's not going to work out. There's no way I'm not going to pass my exams. There's no way I'm not going to graduate. There's no way I'm not going to become a doctor. And I think giving yourself that motivation is sometimes what you need to be able to push through those dark times or those difficult times where you're just like, I really don't know how to get through this.
Hobbies.
We wanted to, and as part of adulthood, we know adulthood can be very serious with,
very serious,
fighting for your dreams and working hard and making money.
Fighting for your life.
Guys, sometimes you just want to relax. Sometimes you just want to chill. And that's why I think having hobbies is so, so important. And this is something I guess I didn't really focus on, and it's still something I'm working on right now, is just having something that you do just for fun. It doesn't make you money. It doesn't maybe necessarily take you to the next step of your career. You're just there to have fun. You're just there to relax, wind back, relax your shoulders and just have a good time. And I think that's really important when you can find yourself living in such a fast-paced life where everything's go. Sometimes I feel like I'm like at 200 miles per hour and I'm like, can you just I knock my head, I'm like, calm down a little bit. Whether that is going for a walk or making running a part of your daily life, which I'm still trying to do. I'm still really trying to do.
Can K-drama and K-pop be your hobby? I feel like surely it can.
I guess so.
Surely.
I guess so. It doesn't make you money. It doesn't take you the next step in your career.
Yeah, and I enjoy it.
I guess so. You probably enjoy it a bit too much, but hey ho. Wherever it is like picking up a new sport like badminton or tennis, you don't necessarily need to be good at it. And I think as high achievers and as overachievers, we can always think that everything we do must be done to its best ability possible. Maybe that's why I haven't started running yet, because I'm like, I know I'm not going to be good, so I don't even want to start running because I'm not going to be good at it.
Therapy sesh.
Wow.
And you don't always need to be productive all the time.
You don't have to be productive. I don't need to be good at badminton or tennis to play it. Just pick up something new and go through the stages of figuring stuff out, learning more about it and just getting better at it. I think sometimes you always want to be the best at something as do something as well as we can, because we're used to being good at other things. You might be really good at work or at school, but just pick up something new and learn something new and give your brain that opportunity to start from step one and just enjoy things in a relaxed manner at 10 miles per hour instead of 200 miles per hour.
I want to do knitting.
And I support you in that. That's all the friends.
That's a bit too slow for me.
Knitting. I want to
crochet?
Crochet, knitting, yeah. I want to pick up the piano again.
You've been saying this. I swear you've actually said this for the 5 years of medical school. At this point, guys.
I used to play it as a child, and within the next 5 years, I will become a little
That's right.
person again.
You can do it.
I can. And you know what? I don't have to be good from the very start, and that's okay.
That's okay.
And with that,
well, guys, that's the end of our video. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I really hope you guys did as well. Of course, if you want to see more content like this, please let us know, because we'll be so down to do more. And you can let us know as well, like what topics you want us to go into, new topics we didn't mention that you want us to explore.
If you guys enjoyed this video, which I'm sure you have, make sure you guys like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in a new video next time. Bye.